They called it routine maintenance. But when the HOA crew arrived at dawn with jackhammers and bulldozers, they didn't just tear up my private lake bridge. They crushed the last piece of my father's legacy. That bridge was hand-built, his final project before he passed, and they destroyed it in 27 minutes. No warning, no hearing, just a notice taped to my door. Structural hazard. I appealed, denied. Then I discovered the truth. They didn't want safety. They wanted my land to expand their $4 million luxury resort. So I did what no one expected. I went to the dam, and with one lever pull, I drained the entire lake, right before their grand opening. What happened next wasn't revenge, it was justice. Ethan Cole lived on Black Pine Lake for 12 years in a cedar cabin his father helped him build. The centerpiece? A handcrafted wooden bridge spanning a narrow cove, a tribute to his dad, a retired engineer. It wasn't just a crossing. It was a memorial. The HOA Pine Hollow Estates tolerated it until Diane Croft became president. The resort expansion plan had been buried in old documents, transformed the quiet lake community into a $4 million luxury retreat with a marina, spa, and private villas. But Ethan's bridge sat on a key access route. He ignored the first violation. Unapproved. Structure. Then the second. Lack of inspection certification. He provided his father's blueprints. The board dismissed them. Not up to code. He didn't know it yet. But they never intended to keep the lake. At 5:17 a.m., Ethan woke to the roar of machinery. Through the trees, he saw them, 4 men in gray uniforms, jackhammers biting into the bridge's foundation. A white HOA truck blocked his driveway. He ran out barefoot, shouting, "Stop! You don't have permission!" A foreman handed him a form. Court-ordered removal due to imminent collapse risk. Ethan scanned it. The judge's signature was forged. He called the county. No order existed. He filmed everything. The crew didn't care. By 7:30 a.m., the bridge was rubble. His father's engraved plaque, "Built with Love 2011, tossed into a dumpster. That night, Ethan sat on the shore, staring at the broken pilings. This wasn't about rules. It was about erasure. And he decided if they wanted a war over water, he'd show them who controlled it. Ethan wasn't just a homeowner, he was a hydrologist. He'd worked on dam safety for the state before retiring to the lake, and he knew something the HOA didn't. The lake wasn't natural, it was man-made, fed by Black Pine Dam. Built in 1952, and though the HOA owned the resort rights, the emergency release mechanism was public infrastructure, operated by the county, but there was a bypass, a manual override lever, accessible only from the upstream service gate, and it was unguarded. Ethan pulled records. The dam hadn't been inspected in 14 years, the resort's water license. Pending, They were building a $4 million empire on shaky ground, and he had the keys to pull the plug. Construction began, cranes, bulldozers, luxury condos rising on the North Shore, HOA members celebrated, But the lake level began to drop, not fast, just enough to expose muddy banks, kill fish, crack docks, Ethan watched, He knew why, they were. Secretly diverting water to feed the resort's fountains, pools, and irrigation, without permits, He filed a complaint with the State Water Board, They launched an investigation, Then, the HOA retaliated, They cut off his power, Fined him $1,200 for obstructing progress, even sent a drone to film him at night, But Ethan wasn't angry anymore, He was ready. The state's report dropped like a bomb. The HOA had been illegally diverting 80% of the lake's flow for 6 months. Their entire resort was built on unapproved water use. And worse, the foundation of the main lodge was sinking. The soil beneath. It was unstable, Saturated from poor drainage. 1. Heavy rain, and it could collapse. Ethan didn't go public. He waited. Because the grand opening was in 3 days. VIP guests, investors, news crews. And the lake, still half full, would be the centerpiece. He had one question. What happens when you drain it all at once? 2 hours before the ribbon cutting, Ethan drove to the dam. No alarms, no cameras. Just a rusted gate and a red lever marked emergency release. He looked at his phone, live stream of the resort. Diane in a white blazer, smiling, holding a microphone. Welcome to the future of lakeside luxury. He pulled the lever. Within minutes, water surged through the spillway. By noon, the lake dropped 18 feet. Guests screamed as boats tipped over. The fountain sputtered and died. The lodge's foundation cracked as the saturated soil drained away. In the center of it all, the drained lake bed revealed something else. The remains of the bridge still intact beneath the water. Preserved. Ethan stood on the shore, filming. I didn't drain the lake, he said. I just let the truth come to light. The state shut down the resort. The HOA was fined $2.3 million for illegal water use and environmental violations. Diane Croft resigned. The board was dissolved. A new one was elected. Transparent, resident-led. The bridge rebuilt, this time legally, with a plaque. For those who stand for what's right. The lake refilled slowly, naturally. But things were different. No more cranes. No more lies. Just peace. And when Ethan walked across the bridge each morning, he didn't smile at the resort. He smiled at the silence. Because some victories don't roar. They just flow.